Welcome to the downside. This is Gianmarco Soresi. We got a full house tonight.
Full house, full couches.
Russell Daniels.
Hi.
Well, okay. Still exhausted from the stairs, I see. Russ, I saw you last night.
Yeah, it was fun.
We got wild. 2 hot toddies.
2 hot toddies.
Sugar high and a little tipsy.
Yeah, it was
Very
late.
exciting. It was late. We pushed
late.
it.
Yeah.
We pushed it.
Yeah, I didn't get home till like 1:45. It's too late.
It is. We're here. We're joined by our producer, Paige Asachika.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hello. Hi.
How are you doing?
Doing good.
Good. You said you got a bad haircut?
I got such a bad haircut.
What do you mean?
I mean, look at her.
I never put my hair up, and that is a sign of a bad haircut.
You're wearing it differently. But like,
Yes.
what do you mean? Like, what happens if you put it down?
If I put it down,
What does it look like?
We'd have to turn the cameras off.
Yes, nobody should see it. It looks like I'm a middle-aged mom,
Oh.
and that is not the vibe I'm going for. I am 27.
Wait, did you
And-
have
Some parts of the country, you're a middle-aged mom now.
Did you have a new person?
Yeah, well, so I went to this hair salon in Chinatown that I'd been to before, but it's one of those places where you just get whoever is available.
Yeah.
And I was just going in for a little trim, and it ended up being like taking off maybe like 4 inches of hair, and it was super choppy. So
You knew
was-
right then
it
and
was
there it
bad.
was a problem.
well, actually, when my hair was down in the salon, like it looked okay because they had like styled it.
Uh-huh.
But then when I got home, I mean, this whole subway back home, I was just like, I don't feel good about this. Like, I think it's going to be not what I expected. And then sure enough, when I got home, looked in the mirror, did a full inspection. It was not at all what I expected.
So you were fine with it when they showed you in the mirror.
Yeah, because I think I was just trying to get out of there. I just felt like I had a bad feeling about it. And then when I saw it, uncovered all of the different choppy layers and
Did you cry?
no,
You didn't.
no, because I had
If
had
Max
a bad
had been here, would you have cried?
no.
Do you just
Okay,
live
good.
life?
Tova.
You're just wearing your hair up forever now? Like, what do you? How long is this?
I mean, like, I'm sure it'll grow out just fine. I know it will. But, like, in the intermediate, I'm trying to find ways to, like, do something different with it. Or
Hats.
to, like,
Exploring
camouflage
hats.
it a little bit. Yeah.
Sure.
But it's fun because then I'm, like, kind of exploring different hairstyles that I wouldn't have necessarily
you can take the
done
headphones
before.
with you. Keep them on
Thanks.
for the rest of the day.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
We're also joined, our guest today. I recently saw her at Carnegie Hall.
Wow.
I was going to see Jesselnick, one of my favorites of all time, and she killed it there. And she just got back from Japan, and she had a flu 3 weeks ago, but she's not contagious anymore. Dina Hashem, welcome.
Hi, thank you. I'm never sure whether to talk until I'm announced.
It was my fault.
Yeah, it was your fault.
The goal.
You usually.
what I'm supposed to say is join in the beginning.
Yeah.
If you feel free, and I don't know if the listener likes it. I don't know if the listener. My view is the listener goes, "Ooh, who's that? Who's that new voice?"
Mysterious voice. I think people do like it.
Yeah.
They try to figure it out.
Yeah, but
Of
he didn't
course they
tell
don't.
you that. So yeah.
All right,
Okay.
we'll bleep it
Okay.
when I say your name and come back. You ever get bad haircuts?
Oh
good
yeah, I
haircuts?
wanted to ask if you have cried during a haircut before, because I have.
During.
Yeah, well, to be fair, I was like 12.
Oh, okay.
But I've also had traumatic haircuts since that. The first time I cried, this woman at the mall, I've got a lot of terrible mall haircut experiences. She gave me bangs without ever having said I wanted bangs. She just wasn't listening. She was like chatting, which I hate. And she just gave me like straight across blunt bangs. My mom was with me, and my mom has just spent her life embarrassing me in public, but this was one of the times where actually I was glad she did, where she like started screaming at this woman. I sort of felt bad, but like my mom has been precious about my hair forever. My hair was down to my ass forever. She's like, the only way a man will love you is if you have long hair. And so once the bangs were cut, she just flipped on this woman, and I also was deeply upset. And of course, it takes a long time for bangs to grow out. Another time,
Wait, can I ask real quick? You had hair all the way to where you said?
my
Your
ass forever.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Like she wouldn't let me cut it.
Would she comb it at night and like whisper secrets? Like it seems like that's like what a controlling mother. You need to be home so I can comb your hair. You couldn't possibly sleep over somewhere.
Oh, well, that was also true. I wasn't allowed to do sleepovers. So you nailed it actually in a weird way.
Huh?
Yeah, no, she like braided it for me. Like it was a strange thing. I had a devouring mother, and she was also very strictly Muslim. So in my head, I couldn't separate: is this a Muslim thing or is this just a her being crazy thing? Like,
have you been able to parse that since? Did you have a lot of crazier Muslim?
I think
That's a tricky game show to play.
I think it was a little bit of both. Because here's another crazy thing involving the hair. And my friend, I would never have friends over to hide how crazy she was. But one time my friend opened a cabinet in the kitchen and found like my chopped braided hair in a sandwich bag.
Oh my god!
I forgot about this memory. I just.
Oh my god! So your friend was over and was like, "I'm hungry. You want a sandwich?" What's this one? Is this a Muslim sandwich? I guess. Oh my god!
Yeah, I just remembered that. I can see the braided hair in a.
Did you know that your mom was holding on to it?
I think so. Yeah.
And so what did you tell her? Was she grossed out? Was she?
Of course. Yeah. I mean, I never had people over, so like it was just probably the last time.
Say it grossed. Oh.
What?
What?
Say it.
Ova. Oh, I can't.
Oh my god!
This is so gross.
Okay. Well,
sometimes I have because I'm so hairy. I have a little belly button lint, and Tova goes boop, and she puts it in a little bowl and.
Like for later,
like it's for a snack, just like oh my gosh, look, it's almost a sweater. It's a cute little thing.
Wait, you have a bowl that's like with all of them?
It's not a lot. It's just a little. She just thinks it's cute.
It's like gold number skin
Where's
box.
the bowl?
Yeah, are we near the bowl?
Where is the bowl?
Looking at me like your friend.
Yes.
Where's the bowl?
It's in like one of the nightstand little drawers things. She just goes boop, puts it in a little. Man, that's one of those things I would never think to ask permission to share, but I feel like she'd be like, how could you possibly? Well, it's done. Listen, we all do weird things.
It's your body.
Yeah,
it's your lid hair.
Yeah. I'll say 10 more worse things than that for her sake.
So, I just want to talk about your mom now.
Oh, I mean, we could do that.
Sure.
Oh, hey, how long do you have?
Well, let's hit this music. This is The Downside.
1, 2, 3. Downside. You're listening to The Downside.
The Downside.
With Gianmarco Soresi.
Welcome to The Downside. And if you are a first-time listener, check it out. We got a lot of episodes. If you want to join the Patreon, you get bonus episodes, live episodes, and my comedy special, The Rats Are In Me, patreon.com/downside. All of it's run by Paige. Paige also helps with Don't Tell.
I do.
And there's someone who comments on every Don't Tell video. I don't know if you see it. They just go, hi, Paige.
I'm glad you noticed that too, because it really freaks me out.
They just go, hi,
Hey, you
Paige.
don't know them.
No,
No?
but it's consistently on every video, and
It could be cute. Just like, hey.
it's cute, but like, where's the follow through? Like, where's the like sending?
You want more? Where do you
No,
live,
I don't
Paige?
know. But I mean, like, if it was sweet, like, what? It just, I don't know. It's just creepy to me.
People don't know this. Paige actually writes every Don't Tell set herself. She's a consummate
No. I don't claim the bad ones.
Well, I love talking about parents on here. I have a tough dad.
Tough.
Well, you talked about yelling in public.
Yeah.
Your mom was she let loose.
Oh, yeah. Like, she would complain. We could not go to a restaurant without a scene happening. She would complain all the time. Yeah.
Yes. Did she do it for? My dad got it to get free shit.
Oh, no.
Was
No, it wasn't. It was purely the principal. And also, this wasn't her fault, but it was also equally mortifying, where she had this weird, like, choking problem where she would just choke a lot. And so a lot of the time, she would end up choking at the restaurant and just making a huge scene. And, like, I should be concerned about her, but really, I'm just embarrassed. Like,
What's wrong with her throat?
I think it's called epiglottitis or something. It's like literally there's like a flap that shouldn't be there or something. And just sometimes she'll just start choking. Like, we'll just be talking and she'll just start choking. And it's like almost need to call the ambulance. Sometimes we did.
And it's not not even something lodged in her throat.
It's like choking on air. Sometimes it's food, but
Oh my
like,
god!
yeah.
Choking on air.
Have you given her the Heimlich?
My brother has. That was triggered another memory at a restaurant. Yes, I think it was the Macaroni Grill.
Oh.
It was just this beautiful opera singer. Sometimes, I don't know if they still do this. Have you been to the Macaroni Grill?
A long time ago. I'm trying to place it in my mind.
They would have like an opera singer, and it was just...
You did that.
That was my dream gig.
Singer, waiter.
I was a singing waiter, not an opera singer at the
Really?
Macaroni
Yeah.
Grill. I was like, you've triggered a memory from me. I was an opera singer for 5 years at the Macaroni Grill until this one woman choked in the middle of my aria. So it was you. How old were you then?
I don't know, maybe 15 or definitely old enough to be embarrassed. But yeah, he had to give her the Heimlich, the whole record scratch. Like, it happened so many times in my life. Like, I feel sort of bad for her now, I guess, and as an adult, I'm like, oh, I should have been more compassionate, but it was only mortifying. But a lot of the time, she was also just being rude to waiters.
That's got to be, for the waiter, it's got to feel good
Yeah.
after they've been rude to you to watch
Okay,
them
well.
choke on air.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's karma.
I've shared before my biggest embarrassment from my father. He was a yeller, temper. We were at some Italian place in Potomac, Maryland. And there's a woman there. My dad was looking sad, and she said to him, "What's wrong?" And he just said, "I'm depressed." And she said something crazy like, "When you get to the gates of heaven, Jesus isn't going to ask why you're so sad." She meant it in like, she didn't say it in quite that tone. She meant it at like, cheer up.
Cheer up. You're going to heaven.
You're going to heaven,
Kind of
and
thing.
Jesus will want to hear about nice things. Don't be such a bummer when you meet Jesus.
No, that's not
And my
real.
dad just turned around. This is a fancy restaurant. Everyone's wearing button downs. He just went, "Why don't you go fuck yourself?" And I'm
It's
just
kind of amazing.
so it's so many of my memories are just it's that feeling of anxiety, like I gotta get out of here. I'm so embarrassed. And it's stayed with me. I don't yeah.
Yeah.
That's so. But do you now? Do you find it funny now? You're like, oh, I had a cool dad.
Oh yeah, real cool dad. This podcast mostly is me talking about my cool dad. No, I think he was so confrontational. And also like he hit on women and all these things. And I think I was always so uncomfortable when it would happen, whether with women or yelling. Both these things, I feel the same feeling of like, get me out of here. I don't know if this person. Oh God! And when he used to be a very good looking guy. He's older. He's still good looking. But there was a time when like the advances were welcome, and now he says like, "Hey, you're looking real great tonight," and I'm just like, this woman doesn't want it. You're an old man.
Is this also while your parents were still together, or
No.
Oh,
They
okay,
were
okay.
divorced. He was with other women, to be fair,
Okay.
so it still wasn't good. I've done a little bit of research, but your parents, were they born in America?
No,
No.
I'm the only one in my family born here. So
Really?
I always felt extra alienated from them. Even my brother was born in Morocco. Yeah, my mom is from, I don't really know her whole story, to be honest. We had such a bad relationship that I just don't know so much about her. I should probably find that out pretty soon, just in case, you know.
It's hard though. What do? You go back? Is your mom? Would she disclose if you sat down and said, "Hey,
Yeah.
mom"?
Oh, she would love it. No, she would love
Really?
it. Oh, for
Really?
sure. I'm like, I'm trying to work on a bit about it where I like really don't really even know where she's from. Like, I don't know where she's
Sure.
born, and it's too awkward to ask now. Like when you go too long without knowing someone's name, you know what I mean? Like, it's not fleshed out yet. But
I remember John Mulaney said something. I think it was an SNL monologue. He's like, "Do we even really know our dads?" And in a way, since you were mostly raised by her, she's filled both
yeah,
role. Like certain things some would have with their father, you also have with your mother.
yeah.
Like, I think that's just the thing about. I barely know what my dad does for work.
Right, same thing.
know?
Yeah, same. So she's from like I want to say France. You know what? Actually, recently I did ask her because I wanted to know if I had French citizenship because she has it. So I was like,
Sure.
oh my god, that'd be sick. And then she goes, I mean, this is so emblematic of how insane her life is. She was like, actually, I think I was born in international waters. So I think I was closer to the Moroccan border. So I think it's Morocco. Like she doesn't even know where she's from.
My dad always claimed we could become next time there's a war, son, we'll become an Italian citizen. And I don't think that's true.
Why?
Because I don't think our blood. I don't think we're close enough to Italy. He's not an Italian
No,
citizen.
but why during war?
Like he's just like because my father was almost drafted for the Vietnam War.
Oh,
and
I
so
see.
in his mind, it's like we'll get out.
We'll get out.
Meanwhile,
We'll be
see
Italian.
videos of like in Italy, there was a fascist rally recently. I'm like, Dad, I think you forgot my mom's side of this whole thing. I can't go there. Your parents were born here.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Parents born here.
Yes.
I would love citizenship somewhere else.
Right? I'm
Yeah.
trying to.
Oh my God.
And then I looked into it because I was like, okay, Morocco, okay, cool. I guess that's okay. But then, of course, because fucking bigoted Islam, I can't, as a woman, I can't unless I'm like married to a Muslim guy or something. I think like that.
That's part of the immigration rules.
Yeah, and Egypt as well. Yeah, my dad was Egyptian, and so even for that, I can't get that. So, yeah.
You were just talking about bigoted Islam. Okay, so you said your brother's 5 years older. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I didn't even say that, but you knew that.
Really? I
Yeah.
think you said it.
I definitely didn't.
No,
I
don't think so.
she said that.
I had a feeling.
Strange. That
Wow. Look at that.
Wow.
Or I heard it on some other podcast. But so your dad, your parents got divorced when you were 6.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Totally. It's probably one of my first memories. It's really sad. I remember him leaving, and my mom was like, "Hug your dad," and I was like, "No."
And did you say no because you didn't want to, or you didn't want to acknowledge what was happening? You
I
felt
don't know. I think I just didn't.
Oh,
I probably knew somewhere if I had that reaction.
That's
yeah.
your first memory. That's tough.
It's fun.
My first memory, I went to my dad's bathroom somehow, and I must have like tried to play with his razors. I was a depressed kid, and I remember this memory of me going in the living room. There were multiple adults, and I just had like blood all over my hands, and I was like
Oh my
crying. I didn't know how it
Oh my
happened,
God.
Yeah.
and that's all I remember. That and my uncle, I was crawling under his legs, and he spilled hot coffee out.
Oh my God.
And your brain's like, let's start remembering right now.
Oh my God.
This is good. First early memory.
No, I don't know. Like it's like
My stepfather's a cat.
I remember
scratching
things
me.
in kindergarten, but like that I was like 5, so I don't really.
No early trauma.
No, I don't. I remember seeing a vagina in 5th grade, or when I was 5 in kindergarten.
5th grade.
I remember seeing a vagina in kindergarten.
My
Like,
first memory was sophomore year of high school. I saw my first nipple.
I remember the thought of like, what is that kind of thing? You know what I mean?
You
Like,
saw it in person in a book?
in person in the classroom. This girl was not wearing underwear, and she was like doing tie her shoe. And I remember thinking, what's going on down there? Like I was like, that's not what it looks like for. Like I remember being like very confused.
Your parents didn't cover anything?
Well, I don't remember. This might have been like a preschool. Like it might have been like a thing. Like you know what I mean? Like
Sure.
I don't remember where it was, but that's an early memory. Is being like, what is that?
I guess it's like because you have a brother. I have sisters.
Yeah. I don't have
So
a
like I
brother.
just, and
And I don't know if he was born at that point either, because he was 4 years younger. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So, yeah. But I'm trying to think of traumatic, like, my brother, but he would have been 2, so I would have been like 6 at this point. He hit me in the head with a decorative duck, like that my parents had. And it cut my eye open, and they had to take me to the hospital. So I remember he was like kind of like a,
establishing dominance at
he
2
was like
years
a
old.
toddler, like he was like kind of like a wreaking, like he was
Yeah.
really had weird anger things when he was young. And I remember coming down the stairs. In my memory, I was just like coming down the stairs, and he just was there with his duck, and he just goes, boom, bashed me across the face really hard.
Premeditated.
He was just down there waiting for me.
That
and
is
he hit me
so-
hard. But yeah, maybe he was a little older, but that was an early injury.
Paige, you got one?
Mine wasn't traumatic. My first memory was my mom took me to go see Christina Aguilera, my favorite pop icon, when I was like a toddler. And
You're a toddler.
yeah.
I wanted
What year
Christina
is this?
performing like Genie in a Bottle. I was like,
Yeah.
what the fuck is that?
No. I had like a full on like Christina poster hanging up in my room probably for like 5 years. And then Destiny's Child opened too, which
Destiny's Child opened?
Open
yes,
for Christina Aguilera.
Wild.
Wow.
iconic. So shout out to my mom. I guess I had such a wild night that she didn't make me go to school the next day,
Wow.
Damn.
which is pretty cool. Like that's a really cool thing to do as a parent.
I do think that's cool because you get to be like hey, we can break the rules together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a nice thing. You want your
Yeah.
parents to be a safe place.
Yeah.
You win. That was the best first memory.
Yeah, not a single razor blade.
Not a single
Incredible.
razor.
Singular razor blade or vagina.
And then when your father left, what was the communication like? Did he stay here in America or did he go?
No, he immediately fled to Kuwait. He lived in Kuwait my whole life.
Wow.
Which another mystery that I'll probably never really know the truth behind why he really did that. I remember in high school he was visiting and we went to the mall food court and like just out of nowhere he was like, you know why I left, right? I was like, nah. And he's like, because your mother was cheating on me with your stepdad, your current stepdad, and I just didn't want to be there and like see another man raise my kids. And at first, it was just such a crazy thing to like tell me about my mom, which I already like hated my mom for other reasons.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
he told me that, and I was like, and then I hated her even more for so long. But then years later, when my mom was like, let me tell you stuff that happened, she sat me down and then she was like, no, he was cheating on me with this like the babysitter or something. I was like, so then I went back to hating. Then I started hating him, and then I always had to like switch in my mind, like who's the reason for how fucked up I am? Like forever
Sure.
it was my mom, and then I was like, oh, it's my dad, and now he's dead, and so I've settled on like my brother maybe. Like it just keeps like going.
Do you remember the babysitter that it would have been?
No, I have one fond memory of a babysitter I had who I loved, and I remember actually
Apparently your
that's
dad did too.
No, it definitely wasn't her. But like actually that's another traumatic memory that's triggering where I loved this woman and my mom one day she yelled at her and fired her and I still don't know why and I was so sad. I should probably ask my mom about that.
God.
But anyway,
I hear that. I mean, how long was she your babysitter?
I don't remember. I was so young. I don't know. But
I have a lot of those. Is for me, it's my dad's like girlfriends, and they would like be part of my life and then like vanish entirely.
that's
And it's
so-
a similar gist of like, what does that do to a person to have these little micro connections
yeah,
vanish?
it's traumatic.
So your mom just yelled at everybody and anybody.
She had emotional issues, and like the more I learned about her life and like stuff my dad did to her, I was like, oh, this totally makes sense that she was out of her mind. And like I found a way to not blame her for things because I was like, oh, instead of blaming her, I'll blame my dad because he fucked her up so much that she took it out on me.
Yeah.
So yeah, that explains like the bouncing of blame.
Was your brother? Did he get Did he escape all this? Was he treated differently?
Yeah, no, I mean, as a man, like he didn't have like any of the shit that my mom gave to me. Like he was just a free agent. Like it didn't matter what he did. But for me, everything, she was literally spying on me all the time. Like once I literally found out she hired a PI to follow me around. Like it
Why?
was-
How old were you?
Oh my God. Okay. Well, I was 19. Like I was dating somebody I was working with, and and I was so good at this point of covering my tracks with everything. I was a pro at this age. So she calls me. I'll never forget this phone call. I was at the gas station with my then boyfriend, and she calls me, and I always knew when she found something out by the tone of her voice. She was like, "You have to come home right now." I was like, "Oh, fuck, what is it? What could it be?" So she comes home, I come home, and then we're in my bedroom. I'll never forget this. She's like, I need to see your phone. So she takes my phone. She goes through every contact of a male name in my phone from A to Z. Everyone, who's this? Who's this? Who's this? Everyone, I'm just like a friend, coworker, whatever. And then she goes back to G and goes, now tell me who Gabriel really is. And that's my boyfriend. I'm like, oh my God, like how? But of course I'm just lying. I'm like, it's just a coworker. I don't know, it's a coworker. And she's like, you're lying. And she found out somehow that we had spent the night in a hotel together. Like, and it racked my brain forever trying to figure out how she found it out. But like, it was like a whole scene. Like I like ran away. It's the first time I ever like ran away from home.
How do you think she could possibly have known?
Well, I figured it out many years later. Many years later, when I had already like moved out and like our relationship starting to chill out, she's like a different person now. I feel bad saying bad things about her because she's so cool now.
Yeah.
But like, so this is at the point where she's starting to become like a normal person again. Like we're okay, and she's like, you know what? your stepdad, I found out he's cheating on me because I hired a private detective to follow him. And I was like, and it clicked in my brain. That's the only way she could have known if she hired someone to follow me around, because she only brought it to me like 3 months like after the hotel thing happened. So I was like, what explains the delay? How did she not know immediately? It couldn't have been her following me around. So maybe like he was like building his case or something.
He's like, I got it. Your daughter's a slut.
What are
3 months of
what are the rules with private investigators? Like, what did your mom say that she was investigating you for?
I don't think
Just
you need
like,
a reason.
That's such a weird job. Just
You know,
to
I think
follow
they
around
gotta
a
take
19-year-old
whatever
girl,
work-
be like, is she, like what? How is that legal? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's very
also,
weird.
how much is it? I mean,
Yeah.
That's another thing. We
Unless
didn't have money.
expensive. Yeah.
yeah, that's the I mean,
Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not a great private investigator. That's maybe why. It took
Sure.
3 months to find out
It wasn't
one
Sherlock
detail.
Holmes. It was a guy on the corner, like, "Hey, you want some work? Hey, you already like following young women." That is creepy.
Yeah.
But it's. Oh, I remember when my mom was going through a second divorce. She got paranoid that there was software that could read her typing. But the problem is, once you start
On her
thinking
computer
that way,
or phone?
on her I think computer. But once you start thinking that way, it's very easy to not know what's real, what's. So they got divorced now.
They're divorced now.
Was that tough? You knew this guy for a long time.
Oh my God, no, it wasn't tough at all, which is so, so here's another. My stepdad and I had a fight when I was literally like 6 or 7 and didn't talk the rest of my life.
No way.
No
way.
Whoa.
Please, I love a good stepdad fight.
6 or 7 till
People
now.
don't believe me when I say this.
I
and
believe
like,
you. Wow.
we had a fight. So I didn't have my own bedroom when I was young. We had a 2-bedroom apartment. My brother, of course, got his own room, and I got just a sectioned off part of the living room. So it was my area. And I think I got home from school and I caught him in my area snooping around. And I yelled at him. I was like, what are you doing? It's my area. And then he goes, you can't talk to me like that. And then he stormed off and we just never talked again.
Whoa.
It's my fault, right? I should have been the bigger person. I
Oh
should
my
have been like,
God.
let's sit down, let's sort it out.
So you went to holidays? Did you like family things and you just saw him and you just didn't interact?
Well, we didn't like
It was
do that
Hanukkah
stuff.
weird?
We didn't do family stuff. Like it just had such a broken. We never sat down at dinner together. Like
Yeah.
You literally just walk by. You never.
he would come home from work. I would say, "Hey Mo." He would say, "Hi Dina," every day of my life. "Hey Mo, hi Dina."
Why do you think he was snooping in your area?
Oh, I think he was just like bored. I don't think he was doing anything malicious the way my mom was. She was snooping for malicious reasons. No, I think he was just like having fun.
That's wild, though. So you'll never, if you never see him again. Here's a question: will you go to his funeral?
Oh my God, probably not.
Sure.
Isn't that crazy?
It is a little wild.
I mean, maybe if my mom went, and she would probably be like, "Could you come with me?" And I guess for her sake, I would. But I don't even know if she'd go.
But your mom never tried to like intervene and be like, you need to make things right, or like you need to.
No, because they were always fighting. Like they were constantly fighting. So it was never even like, yeah.
Wow.
And was your brother your confidant, ally in any of this? No.
No. He didn't understand. Like every time me and my mom would fight, he would take her side. Like he was so protective of her, which is good. But like also like I wasn't a human then. Like he would never see like I also am a person with feelings. I also can be a victim. It was always like you need to shut up and like do everything she says. But because he didn't have the same rules applied to him, so he didn't understand why there was a problem, and he never thought to ask or like just think about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did you grow up with other Muslims to like be able to compare and contrast? Like, oh, this is a religious thing. This is my mom thing.
Unfortunately, no. Like that's why like now like I try to sort out like what was what. Sometimes she would have like a reasonable thing and I would still think she was just being crazy because of the religion. Like I think I was like 7 or something and there was a new neighbor. His name was Anton. We were friends. And so I wanted to just go over to his apartment. And my mom was like, well, I have to go meet his parents. And I was like, you're being so embarrassing. Like, no, you can't do that. But like in retrоспect, that's normal, right?
Yeah,
That's
that's
crazy
not
thing. But
crazy.
I couldn't separate like what was her being crazy and what was like normal.
We also stressed. If the way your mom sounds like you'd be stressed for her to meet anybody that you knew,
and then
she
yell or to be weird. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
My dad came to the Comedy Cellar the other day, and it was one of the most anxious experiences of my life.
Really?
Because he's so just unhinged. And I think he would know better not to yell at anyone. I don't know if he knows better enough to not like say a weird compliment to someone. And at one point he started filming with his phone, and I was like, put your phone. It was an awful feeling. It was an awful
They
feeling.
didn't take his phone?
No, because he came in with me. He just
okay.
came in with me to the back. He wouldn't sit for a whole show. He's not going to do that. So,
I was gonna say they need to give him one of those bags.
yeah.
But
He
you don't
wouldn't
have,
do it. He'd go, what? No, I have work, son. I can't. I put my phone away.
but you're not close enough. Just be like, here are the rules. Don't heckle. Don't film.
But he'll forget.
Okay.
He'll just forget. And yeah, that's all. He just doesn't know better.
Yeah.
I just see him. I think the sympathetic way I try to view it now, it's very condescending, but it's like if you brought like a slightly untrained pet. When I see someone with a dog at a coffee shop, I'm like, I get it.
I think I'd really
I've
like
gone to
your
my
dad.
dad with my dad to a steakhouse.
He sounds really cool, honestly.
So you grew up New Jersey. And when your dad was so far away, how often did you talk to him?
We talked on the phone once in a while, and he came to visit once every few years. He would just come to like a hotel, and we would see each other. But
Fun, awkward.
I guess it got awkward as I got older because I had realized like it was fucked up, like everything that stuff he did to my mom and just like not being around. I was like, oh, you're actually kind of fucked up. So but when I was young, it was mostly fun. It was like more of an exciting thing. And because I had like blamed my mom for everything, it was like, oh, thank God that sane person is here. Like to me, he was like the reasonable, sane person, even though he was equally religious, but he wasn't there to enforce it. So it was just like, my mom's the crazy one. He's like the cool one. And then later it flipped, but it was fun.
Did he have another life in Kuwait? Like, did he get remarried there? Or
I don't think he did. He had a previous marriage before my mom, because I have a half sister who I like don't even talk to. It's odd that
Younger?
Is she here?
No, she's in Egypt.
Wow.
I met her once when I visited Egypt. And like there is sort of the beginning, I guess, of seeing my dad in a different light, because I saw him the way he was treating her. I was like, oh my God, thank God I didn't grow up with my dad, because like we went to this like street fair or something, and like she talked for a minute to some guy. It's just something totally harmless. I forget what. And then my dad yelled at her for talking to this guy, and it just started hitting me like, oh my God, my life would suck if my dad had lived here, or if, God forbid, I had lived in Egypt. Like something I have to thank my mom for so much is the reason that my dad didn't whisk me and my brother away to Kuwait when they divorced, is that my mom, like, she didn't have any money, and my dad, like, he like fucked up the sale of the house specifically to like fuck with her. And so the only way she got to get custody of me and my brother is that she married she like made a deal with my stepdad so that he would get a green card, and so that she could tell the court she had an apartment and a place for the kids to live, so that she could keep us here. So like if she hadn't been able to do that, like I might have just had to go with my dad and like had a totally different life.
So she rushed that marriage to happen to keep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Do you ever like envision what your life would have been like if you were there?
I mean, I'd probably have killed myself already.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I just don't know. Like, I would have been subject to all the Islamic rules. Like, I wouldn't be anything close to what I am now.
Sure.
I can't even imagine. I don't know. Like, I don't know.
So when you were growing up, you had did you go to a mosque? Did you like see other?
Well, no, that's the other weird thing. Is like it sounds so strict, right? But like my mom just had no time. She was working all the time to even take us to like mosque or like put us in Muslim school or anything. So I was also weirdly isolated in that I didn't have any other Muslim friends. Most of my friends were actually Asian, and so I did have some like people who sort of understood because they were first generation as well. And like I had one friend who had a really, really strict Vietnamese dad. So like that was the closest to somebody who like understood what I was going through. But I only knew one other Muslim boy in school. He sat in front of me and he was so weird. And my mom had drilled it into my head that I had to marry a Muslim man. So I'm like 7 being like trying to get to know this kid. Like, I guess this is going to be my husband. like, do you like math? Oh, I don't. So yeah, I didn't even have like people to really commiserate with, even though I grew up in a very largely like, really large Indian population. I think the town I grew up in has the most amount of Indian immigrants, and there were a lot of like Muslims around, just not really where I went to school for some reason.
So it sounds like does the religion hold any nostalgia? Any like Tova, my girlfriend grew up Chabad, and like she's not that anymore, but it still has like, oh, I have some fun memories of the dances or this celebration. What are the fun? I honestly don't know much about like Muslim holidays or.
Well, I mean, in theory, there are things that should be fun. Like Eid is like a big like feast after fasting for Ramadan. That's like supposed to be like a fun thing, I guess. But we also didn't have any like family here. Like my only family was my mom and my stepdad, and my brother. So there wasn't even the opportunity to have like a big get together or anything close to that. So no, I mean, there were no fun Muslim memories. It's really all.
It's wild to think, because to hold on to that strict religion in America without the community to reinforce itself, it's like, well, this is not gonna work. There's no way.
Yeah. No, I like immediately was like, I don't believe this, but I could never say that out loud. But maybe if there was that, I could at least like, have maybe see the good part of it. I didn't get to see the good part of it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do you remember when you stopped believing? Like, did you ever?
Yeah, it was almost immediate. I feel like my whole life, I was like, this doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm 8 being like, what? It doesn't make sense. I guess high school was when I really was like, okay, I think I'm done. Like officially, I think I'm officially done internally, but I struggled with it forever. I was like, it was like, okay, if I'm gonna be subject to all these rules that are gonna make my life worse, then I really need to know if God is real. Because otherwise, I'm wasting my life with all of these things, and I'm gonna have a bad life. So I want to know if this is real. So my whole life, I was just like reading things and trying to figure it out, and I just landed on no. But as I get older, I sort of shift. Like I don't think I'll ever be subscribed to any of the like main religions, but I can see myself being like, oh, maybe there's something.
Sure.
Did you ever, when you were young, like?
Oh,
were you...
I never was raised with enough religion to believe in one particular thing. Mm-hmm. I don't think there was ever a time where I was like, Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus, and he died. And
I have no connection
back.
to Jesus.
No connection.
I see him up there and I'm like, no, I don't feel anything about it.
We have a friend of ours and he's so funny. He's got a great sense of humor. And you'll ask him, if you say to him, so if you were to have dinner with someone, living or dead, who would it be? And he's like, Jesus H. Christ.
Not as
I have
a
some
joke.
things I'd like to ask him about. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? We were thinking David Bowie. Like, shut the fuck up.
Jesus Christ. Jesus H. Christ.
That's a good answer. I don't know. I think that's a pretty good answer.
What am I gonna ask him?
I don't care what he
mean
says.
It? When you said love thy neighbor, did you mean that America's immigration policy is okay though? there's just people where I'm like, I think from an early age, and I don't think it means I'm smarter. It just means that I have some brain that is self-aware, where I go like, yeah, you don't actually believe in this equality for all, through the eye of a needle, a camel going through, a rich person getting into heaven. Like I knew early on, like that's insane.
Yeah,
you all are hypocrites.
You didn't go to a religious school, right?
No,
So,
there was echoes. There was a cross at the assembly, and we said, "My Father, Thy King become."
Yeah.
We didn't say Jesus though.
Okay, because I went to a Christian school from preschool all the way through high school.
That's
and
intense.
when you're young, when you're literally an infant and being told all these things, and I eventually, like when I was in high school, I volunteered at a Catholic school. And I sat in on a preschool class because I was just doing like teacher's aid stuff. And what the teacher was saying to these children who were probably like 3 or 4 years old was like, to the effect of like, you're going to go to hell if you don't believe in Jesus Christ. So when I saw that was really like, oh, I was brainwashed from such a young age. And of course you're going to believe the adult in the room because they're the authority. Like they're not going to lie to you, or like, why would, somebody of that age lie to you? So, by the time you're in 8th grade or 7th grade or whatever, you go to the communion or confirmation classes and go through this whole thing, and then you go to this like weekend where you're like confirmed, and there's this whole like emotional spiritual bonding thing, and then you go to high school, and then eventually you find out about stuff happening in the real world.
Sure.
And then you form your own opinions, or at least this is my story. But like the rules didn't necessarily like the bad rules of Christianity didn't necessarily apply to me, but it was more so like, okay, well, if God is real and he's condemning people for being gay or for believing different religions, like that's not somebody that I want to think of as like the ultimate creator or the ultimate, like you know, says can dictate whether or not you go to hell just because you love somebody who's the same sex.
Sure.
Like, that didn't make any sense to me. So again, like the rules didn't really apply to me, but I was just like, I can't stand behind something that like I guess takes away rights of other people.
Well, that's why I think it's interesting where the Catholic Church, like the Pope, has become like a little bit looser. And I do think these movements are essentially a degree of like, guys, if we're going to keep this thing going,
Exactly.
a lot of gays right now. We gotta, can we at least say they're not going to burn for eternity?
If we want
I'm not saying they're good.
if we want to keep the lights on at this castle that we live in,
Yeah.
like, we gotta like loosen up so we can still.
They're like,
get all
we
the
might have
money.
to sell, one of
Yeah.
our candelabras. No, we can't.
Yeah,
Let
let
the
the gays be a part of it. Yeah,
That's what I'm waiting for with Islam. Like I feel like it's the religion that hasn't had the chilling out period yet. Like it might be starting, but like still, like if you're Muslim, you're fucking hardcore, right? Like
Well, I'll be frank. I don't know the grand scope enough of.
Yeah.
And of course I'd be hesitant to know. It certainly sometimes seems like I don't see the same, but I don't know what the Catholic Church equivalent
I mean,
of
I guess
being
what
Muslim
else?
is.
Like what I'll say? Like to be frank, like there's most of the people in the world who are still killing people for religious reasons. They're the Muzzies, right? We're still doing that. It's like. You know?
don't look at me.
I know this isn't the best time to be saying that.
Sure. I don't. Separate from that statement, I would say that people still have reasons that are equally as nonsensical or equally selfish or whatever. Everyone has their own reasons. They can label it religious.
For sure.
They hate our freedom. Like there's a degree of saying I'm going to kill someone because they don't follow religion. It's killing someone because they hate our freedom, as George Bush would have said. Like.
Oh yeah,
before the
no, I
Iraq
mean
War.
I can
It's
separate.
the same. It's like the same thing. You're just lying about why you really want to.
But there's a lot that aren't lying. I will say that.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
You speak with authority. I'm not going to challenge you.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go.
No. There's tons of bullshit. There's all kinds of political reasons people do things, and our government's going to be like, it's because they hate our freedom. Like I know all that's nonsense.
Sure.
But when you're killing the cartoonist because of drawing the profit, you know what I mean? Like that stuff is still real, and like. I get the threats from the Muslims over the jokes I make. Like I see it. Like I see the power of the religion is still so strong in a way. Like I mean, there's definitely like Christians who are going to still be like, don't say that. Like so, I'm not saying it's specifically only
You feel
that.
it though. I feel like in America you feel some more of that Christian energy of those Christians that would become the thing that would kill someone over a cartoon. You feel it bubbling.
Yeah, maybe. But have we seen it a lot? Can you think of examples of people murdering people?
Abortion clinic bombings. I mean, I don't know the specific ones, but I get what you're saying. But I just see the same flame there that could boil over.
Yeah.
The direction we're headed these days.
Well,
But
yeah,
become more
it's interesting, though.
Trump has become the replacement for some of these people. That is the religious energy, fervor.
yeah,
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it's
yeah.
not always connected directly to like it's like just kind of like a blind anger kind of thing,
But certainly if we're talking about Palestine, when people I think one of the things people in Israel, they do say, they go like, well, look how LGBTQ friendly it is here. And it's like, of course, that doesn't excuse any actions.
Of course.
But that's what they would take. I think that's why there's the hesitancy to be like, yeah, it does seem a little strict on the gay rights thing. On the
Right. I mean, that's it's the logic there is so infuriating. It's like you don't kill civilians because you disagree with their beliefs. It doesn't matter what they believe, you know? So like that's always a distraction, all of these arguments. But
the problem is there's always these fucking things going on where it feels tough to have a dialogue in general because immediately any Islamophobe will latch on and become excited that you're now criticizing something. So I don't know how you talk about it. Certainly from my perspective. But why do you think there hasn't been a cooling? Like I don't know how things cool. I don't think things can cool when they're not in bountiful circumstances.
I think that is a lot of it. I think it's that, you know, this country and others have fucked with the Middle East for so fucking long that, I mean, there have been plenty of people who have tried to gain power and who have been in power who have tried to institute more progressive policies and not run a fundamentalist regime. And fucking America always finds a way to take them down and install the more strict fundamentalist leaders because it benefits our empire's interests.
Sure.
So, like, it is really frustrating because...
And that's the part where when the Americans criticize, I'm like, do you understand?
It's our fault.
It's our fault.
Doing it. It's our fault.
Every time there's an attempt to, like, have that chilling out period, it's like we're like, no, we like making deals with the terrorists. Like our government loves terrorists, they do, and so I think that's a huge part of it, unfortunately. But I don't know. I really don't know what it is about it that makes people so fervent. Like even people people convert to that religion more than any other one. It's like there is something about it, right? Like it's like sort of cool, but it's when it makes people so fervent. I just don't know. I don't really know, but. Politically, I would say that's why there hasn't been.
So, let's see. I'm just trying to think. If I want to talk about Japan, but So you tell me your life story, and then I think about the whole. You talked about threats that you were getting. You get threats for what do you get threats the most of, separate from the incident? You said Muslim jokes. You get people that write you.
I mean, some threatening, more so like, how dare you? You're going to hell. Hell, you will. I think a fun one was, you will suffer Allah's brimstone or something. I don't know. Just like comments like that. There's a whole race war happening in the jihad joke on my Instagram right now, which is great for the algorithm.
Of course.
So I don't mind.
I once saw on a train. I felt like I saw like the evolution of religion in a microcosm. There was an attractive woman sitting down, and it was just me, her, and this guy. And this guy started hitting on her, like, "Hey, you want to go out sometime?" And she was like, "I'm not interested." And immediately he was like, "In Islam, you'd be wrapped up, you'd be covered head to toe." And I was like,
"Wait,
I just witnessed you got rejected and became a fundamentalist." Like you wanted this woman, she's dressed attractively, she wasn't into you, and now you're like, you should be covered. Like he like started his rejection, that's what he turned to in that moment. He did. And I was just sitting there, and I felt nervous for her. So as we got to the stop, I did this thing like, this is my way to try to diffuse. I act like I'm confused, and I'm like looking for a map, and like got in between them as if I was confused looking around.
Oh, okay.
That's
as
nice.
opposed,
nice.
Yeah.
No, that's the right way to do it.
And then you hit on her?
And then I hit on her. She said no. I said,
you had a wig on you.
You got a wig on you. You be making Shabbat dinner right now. When you, I feel like I probably when I first started stand up. What year did you went viral and a lot of backlash for one joke that was on Comedy Central Presents? Was that what it was called? Or From the Cellar?
It was This Week at the Cellar.
This Week at the Cellar, which was an era of comedy I wish I had been around, and I'm very envious.
2018?
Yeah, 2019 was when it happened.
Yeah.
And you just get booked and you get paid, what, $1,000 or something?
It's horrible, but I mean, after taxes and paying everyone, like, I don't know, $600.
$600. But you had truly a joke that was not about the person who was killed. It really was a joke. Is it XXX? How do you say it?
XXXTentacion.
Tentacion, who had also
yeah.
been he beat somebody. He beat
Hey, I think he's a great guy.
great guy. I'll
we
say
don't
it.
need to.
He did some bad things, but he was shot. And you had a great joke about Venmo. It was a very good joke.
It was a fine joke. It was a throwaway joke meant to make $600. That's what it was for.
Yeah.
I know you've talked to a million people about the trajectory. I'm more curious about like the literal security part of it. So it started when it first posted. Did it seem like, oh, it's doing well?
Oh my God.
Was there 10 nice seconds in there?
It happened so fast. They posted it. First of all, I didn't know they were going to post it. I didn't get the memo.
Sure.
So I see it posted. I was like, oh, that's cool. They decided to post one of my jokes. And then I just slowly, I see a few comments on Twitter that are like, that's fucked up. And I was like, oh, that's funny. And then more of it, like, you should have posted that. Like, okay, whatever. And then Instagram, it just suddenly, like, there's this one really big news account, I forget what it's called, that catches it. And people tell me they caught it because of the other comedian that posted angrily about it, but I don't know.
There was another comedian who posted about it angrily?
Oh, I mean, this is part of the whole thing.
Is it,
like,
it's a comedian in quotes.
Well, I don't know if I should say his name.
We can bleep it out.
I'll bleep it.
Okay.
He's the first comedian who posts, like, this is fucked up. Comedy Central shouldn't post this. Blah, blah, blah. And
I don't like that at all.
Yeah.
I know. And then from there, this other big news account posted, and people tell me, like, if he hadn't posted, it probably wouldn't have gone to that account. Then it would have gone crazy without his help, I'm sure. But still, stupid that he posted. And I also DM him. So after the big account posted, it starts going insane. And now, like, I'm like flooded. My inbox is flooded. My accounts are all like just sort of breaking. Like, I can't even see messages anymore. And I
Who knew
DM.
there were this many fans of this guy?
I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know. But apparently, whenever anyone said anything fucked up about him, or just even lightly criticized, Pitchfork put out an article about the bad stuff he did, and like same thing happened to them. Like they got spammed with like threats and everything. So apparently, whenever anyone said anything negative about this guy, this happened, which I didn't know because I didn't know who he was until a week before I made that joke. But yeah, no, it's like my inboxes are all broken. I'm getting so like at first I still think it's kind of funny. Like I don't know how to handle it because I decided to post something. Oh, the joke got taken down. People were reporting it, so the joke got taken down, I think. So and also eventually my reps are like, should we take it down? And I'm like, I think we have to, just because I want this to stop. Like, I'm so overwhelmed that like, I just want it to stop, whatever it takes to make it stop. And so I post a thing on Instagram, a note, just trying to diffuse the situation. Because, I remember since I didn't know I remember things in the wrong order because I haven't thought about it in a while. I remember my lovely friend Dan Perlman, who was just at my side this whole time, my rock, just helping me through this. And he like is looking into the rapper because like I didn't know anything about him. I'm like, it sounded like he was like a saint. Like the way people were talking about him.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, I just made a joke about like a saint of the community. And so Dan starts doing research. And I remember him texting me being like, okay, he beat up his pregnant girlfriend. He beat up a gay guy in jail. And I'm like, oh, thank God. Thank God. And so I think I'm the smart one. I posted a note that was like, listen, I said it's tragic that he died, but like, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but he wasn't a saint, like he did these things, like not that it matters. It doesn't mean he deserved to die. And I don't know that people are coming back with like they're his lawyer. They're like, he didn't do that. That's not true. She lied. I'm like, who did I think I was that these people didn't already know all these things? Like I was so naive about it.
That every inbox would be like, hey, I'm sorry, I read that article you posted.
Yeah.
My bad.
Like it was so foolish that I did that. Actually, Cypher Sounds was trying to help me too. He called me. So many people were calling me, giving me advice. It was like the most close I felt to the comedy community. It was like really nice. All the people contacting me, I never would have expected. So he calls me and I told him that I posted that note. He's like, what have you been doing? I was like, I posted this note. And he's like, you said that? Like it was the totally wrong move.
Yeah.
And I thought it'd be cute because I was having people calling. People thought I was white, and
Sure.
So that didn't help. People like the stupid white racist bitch posting it.
Yeah.
And so I was like, maybe it'll help if I let everyone know I'm not white.
Just keep adding like notes, being like, just FYI.
note. I'm like, oh, by the way, everyone calling me a white bitch, just so you know, please switch it to Arab bitch. And then all the DMs started changing to you terrorist bitch.
Oh my God.
Go back to where you came from.
Oh my God.
It was actually funny over the years just seeing the insults adapt to the environment. Like when COVID started, the DMs were like, I hope you get COVID. Like,
The times. Wow.
okay, so yeah, so then like everything's going crazy. I'm like vacillating between this is funny and oh, someone's gonna come kill me. Oh, so that got doxxed as well. So my address got posted.
Which would be, by the way, if anyone wanted to dox me, I imagine it would take a minute. I've been on the internet for so long.
Yeah.
It's so absurd that this is allowed and that like our addresses are just publicly available. In other countries, that's not allowed. You can't just look up someone's
Really?
address. Yeah.
Okay, wait. So I used to have a job in college. It was a really
Doxing
dumb-
people.
No. It was yeah.
It was the head of the
on the-
XXXTentacion fan
On the
club.
dark web. Yeah. But no, I worked for a superior court and I would remove the addresses of the judges that worked there. So that people couldn't dox them just from like doing the whatever it was, like True People or like Spokio, all those different things. Like you can, just so people know, you can opt out of those websites, but it does take a lot of time.
It takes a while.
And you have to like, sometimes you can do it pretty easily where you just like kind of verify your information and then it'll like opt you out. Other times you have to write them an email being like, please take down my address. Like somebody's going to murder me otherwise.
Oh my God.
But it just depends. And like some of the websites are kind of defunct or don't have any customer service. So it's impossible to remove it.
Yeah. I went through all that. Every website I went through.
So when you were doxxed, did you have any things happen? Like, did people leave anything or?
Well, no, thankfully, no. I mean, my phone numbers also went out. So, oh my God, this is so creepy. Like one of the first things that happened was, first of all, okay, so Viacom provided security for me after the doxing because they don't want to get sued if something does happen. So I had security posted outside that address. It was technically my mom's address that people doxed with.
Oh, wow.
I was already living in an apartment, but the address was hers because my name is on that.
In a way, you got revenge on your mom.
But
you followed me. Well, now everyone's following you.
That is karma. But I already, she was already cool at this point, so it was not good.
Did she move? Did they bring her to a hotel?
No, they just had security posted outside the house for 2 weeks.
What are they like? Two dudes?
Literally just one guy, sometimes two guys. They would rotate. It was 24-hour shifts.
Wow.
I know. I mean, just so many absurd details. At one point, I decided to stay with her just in case, and my brother did too because he was a cop, so he had a gun.
Yeah.
So I was there, and I was like, I was just scared. I didn't know it was real. I was like, if I go to the mall, like, there's going to be teenagers. They're going to recognize me. They're going to try to kill me. Like, this is what's going on in my head.
Sure.
So to sort of like ease myself out of this like insane headspace, I have the security he's following me everywhere. So I'm like, I'm going to go to the mall. And so he's like, goes to the mall with me. Like, and he's like, I'm sorry, you have to like hang out with me while I'm shopping. He's like, oh, I'm used to it with my wife. Like, it's just so insane. And
You should like hung out with like the president's kids and like talked about what is your life like now.
Yeah. I would like see groups of teens in the mall and I was like scared. I was like trying to hide my face. Like, and after a while I was like, oh, this is sort of like not real. Like, it's just an internet thing. Like,
Yeah.
It's so weird too to imagine like trying to explain to your mom, like, wait, why do people want to kill you?
No,
You're like,
she keeps going,
you're like,
XXX,
well,
what?
you're like, it's such a hard thing to like try to explain to
It
someone too.
was.
Like they really want to kill you. Like, is this made? Like, it feels so crazy.
my plan was not to tell her at all, but then
Yeah.
the doxing happened, and then she'd be like, why are these people outside the house all the time? Like, we had to tell her.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, she was surprisingly cool about it, but she was very scared as well.
When you got on stage, how long of a break did you take from performing?
It was definitely long enough where I was like shaky, maybe like couple months. I don't remember exactly. I had to cancel shows. I lost money. I had to cancel stuff. Oh, I was supposed to do this. Airbnb was doing this thing, like one of those experiences or whatever. I forget what you call it. And one of them was like, oh, do you want to be one of the comedians for this experience where someone can stay in New York and like hang out with a comedian, go to a show? And it was me and Nori Davis and someone else I forget. And right before all this happened, we were like shooting the promos for it. And then that happened. And then they were like, it's probably not a good idea to invite strangers to hang out with you right now. So like that gig got canceled. And that was a good amount of money that I lost. I had to I was getting specific threats about shows I was supposed to do. Like, if you go do the show, I'm going to come kill you. So I had to cancel all this stuff.
Can you imagine you win that Airbnb thing? And it's like, here's your comedian and her bodyguard. Like, what's that for? Oh, people trying to kill her.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that'd be cool. It's a better experience, right?
It'd be thrilling. Yeah, yeah.
Have you ever gotten in like I don't think you've had that level of. Like, have you ever had like a thing though that you've been nervous about where
No,
you're?
remember we got one comment here that said we got some comment about someone throwing a grenade into the studio for something a while ago.
Wait, what?
You didn't tell me that.
There was
hear
one
that either.
scary comment we got once. Wait, did you hear just something go through the window?
You never told me that. About what?
Some episode that bothered someone.
Really?
Really, we never looked at it.
No, this is my first time hearing about it.
I feel like there was one time where someone said
they
like
know?
it was like these liberal cuck boys. Let's see how they would handle like a blah 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 grenade.
No, that doesn't feel real.
Yeah,
Like,
but I
unless
do.
they
I
said-
have my face out here.
Yeah, you
So-
should maybe take that down.
It'd be pretty easy for someone to find.
That's what I was
Fines.
wondering. Like, at what point will you take
that
the
down.
face
People
off
don't
That's when you know I made it. That's when you know I made it. For
He's
now,
his face in the window, facing the street.
I was
really?
getting like a fat head. A bunch of comedians were getting those big cardboard heads.
Oh.
It's just a big. So we put it on the window. Everyone at the bridge sees it,
Oh.
and my handle's there.
Okay.
Tag you in it sometimes. So you probably should take it down.
No, it's a good thing. It's promo.
Okay.
It's promo. It's fine. As you said, listen, no one came after you
Actually,
at the end of
and you
the
don't
day.
live here. It's just a studio, so once a week they could kill us.
But-
The rest of the week.
I just feel like you got. I don't think certainly it still happens to a degree, but this was like during the height of when people would just get fucking. Everyone would pile on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like it still happens now, but at least the internet has become more fractured. Where
Yes.
I remember I got in trouble for a joke on TikTok, and it was so funny how it didn't affect me at all because the way
Yeah.
TikTok works, it doesn't build in the same way that a tweet going viral will.
Yeah, this was like at the time when it was still scary for something like that to happen. But now it's kind of like, oh, yeah, if you don't get death threats, you're a loser. Like, it's like normal now to get, you just accept it's part of being online that you're going to get threats,
Did you
right?
share a message once where it was like someone who made the threat and then later said like, "Hey, I saw your work. I'm a fan now."
Oh yeah, there's that's the best part now is sometimes people years later will like, send me a DM like, I'm sorry I said that, or like, that was fucked up of me, or like, actually I saw your jokes, you're pretty funny, or like somebody, even at the time, somebody would send something fucked up, and then I would like post a clip or something. They'd be like, oh, she just like commenting on like my ass or something, like, so
Yeah.
like that would help turn people around as well, just being like, oh, I like her ass, never mind. So there's just a lot of fun things like that, where it would go from I want to kill you to are you around, what's up?
I loved your joke in your special now on Amazon, Dark Little Whispers, about the 15-year-old
Oh yeah.
messaging. What did they say?
I'm gonna rape you.
And you were like, you didn't know if you doing a comeback to that would count as you sexting a.
Oh yeah, it's like I respond, you wouldn't know what to do. Like, oh, is that sexting a minor then?
I wonder what the rules are. When you said it, I was like, what are the rules? Though? That is.
Yeah, there's a shocking amount of young people saying vile things. Like, you just
Oh, for sure. I mean, my brother, he's older now, but when he's a teenager, he was a Redditor and gamer, and like the
Yeah.
things they say are insane.
yeah, it was so many young people. I realized that also helped calm me down when I realized a lot of these people are like kids. Not that a kid can do something crazy; they're definitely mentally unstable. These but yeah.
And that's why I don't, honestly, again, I don't, who knows if I'll ever have kids, but I think it would be a real struggle with the internet and privacy that if I had like a 15-year-old son and he's on Reddit or whatever, if you know, how do I know he's not messaging fucking this crazy shit? And then suddenly you go like, well, we need to be stricter. I don't know. It's just so easy when I'm younger to be like, I'd be liberal, loose parent. And then you get older, and you're like, I don't want my kid to like get into some fucked up shit.
Be like a crazy like alpha, whatever, you know, with that.
Yeah.
What's his name? Andrew Tate. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Sure.
weird things that people they get into.
Yeah, the entire universe is in the palm of their hand. You're supposed to like be cool about it. I don't get it either.
But then you figure it out. I just remember, like, I think about the age that I realized you could use the internet for porn, and it was probably like 12, 13. It's like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
It was just there. But I wouldn't want my dad to be like, hey, son, let's...
Yeah. No.
I saw you at Carnegie Hall. It was amazing.
Oh, thanks. That was a lot of fun.
Was that... Do you feel like the room... I mean, it's not made for comedy, obviously. Did it feel good, or did it feel too big and expansive?
It actually felt great. I was warned. I was talking to Ronnie Chang, who had done it before, and he was like, "Just so you know, like, don't worry when you lose if you're going to lose laughter, because it's not your fault. It's the room." So I was like, I had that in my head. But then it was totally fine. Like the crowd was just so fucking hot and good, and like I almost was expecting them to be sort of just uptight because it's the Carnegie Hall, but they were so cool. It was one of the best shows that I've done with him.
I think it's that degree, especially with comedy, where it's like tickets are more expensive, so you really want to see. You really really want to see Anthony
so.
Jeselnik. So you love comedy.
I think that helped. Yeah. But yeah, it was just so fun. It was just I just kept like being freaked out that I was saying clit like in Carnegie Hall, but it was
yeah.
Everyone's people have been. I mean, Mateo's been there. That stuff like that's been said there before, but it just felt like weird.
Yeah.
And then Tim Dillon was right after you guys.
Yeah.
So it's like warming up the space. For
Yeah, exactly.
And I was saying when you came in, you went to somewhere I've always wanted to go, Japan.
Yeah, Japan.
But this is the downside. Don't brag too much. What was shitty about Japan?
I mean, definitely the flight, definitely the jet lag coming back. But about Japan itself,
You liked it?
oh no, it was the best. I've always wanted to go. I studied Japanese in college, but like
Really?
my whole thing was I wanted to go like teach there. Like stand up was just this accident that derailed my life, but that was like one of my first plans is I was going to go teach English in Japan.
How good is your Japanese?
It was really good, but because I never practiced it, I lost all of it. But being there sort of jogged some of it back. I did a little bit on stage. It was so fun to impress people on stage. They just did not know at all that I could speak any of it, so that was fun.
How did you drop it? Like at the beginning? Like
yeah, at the beginning.
Konnichiwa.
I was like, "Daigaku de Nihongo no class o torimashita," and I was like, and then that was the only thing I could say. But I posted that clip, and I was getting DMs like, "Did you do a whole set in Japanese?" I was like, yeah.
Sure.
Please book me back. But I mean, it was just really magical. I don't know if I could say a lot of bad things about it for your sake.
I just want the food. So just the food.
Sushi's my favorite food. It's the only
Sushi's
thing.
It's in my rider. It's all that's in my
Really?
rider. I'm a sushi all the way.
You do omakase a lot?
What is omakase?
Oh, stop. Oh, you're not a real sushi. You're
Okay,
not a really sushi
but
fan.
let me just say, I eat a lot of sushi. I'm bad at knowing things.
Okay, omakase is when you go and they give you like a 12 course, like one piece at a time.
Oh,
Yeah.
I did do that. I did that at Nobu for my last anniversary. So I do that. I mean, I've done like a 5, but the Nobu one was the 12.
Okay.
The full thing.
Okay. That's like the only real sushi you get here. Like if you just go to takeout, like I can't eat regular sushi anymore. Not even since Japan, but just after doing my first omakase, you have sushi in a takeout place, and you're like, oh, it's not real fish. They're giving you like rubber.
Yeah.
Not real.
Sure.
I still like it though.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah.
What are you getting? What's your roll?
If I'm gonna do a roll, I like the spicy tuna.
Spicy tuna. Yeah.
It's not real.
It's not real.
I like it.
Spicy rubber.
What was the comedy scene like in Japan?
I guess there isn't really one. Like the club that we did is the only actual comedy club there, Tokyo Comedy Club. It was really fun. Mostly expats in the crowd, but I don't really think. I mean, I guess I don't know what the like Japanese language scene is like. There's probably other shows happening, but that was the only club there. Yeah, it was really small.
Did you see any comedians there that started in Japan, have just been in Japan?
No, I don't think so. There was someone there. Her name is JC Corey, I want to say, who apparently was in New York for years, but I never ran into her. But she moved back there, and now she just does there. But
It's just so seeing other countries where stand up started later. Like there's some Instagram account and it's in China and it's stand up there and it's like comparable to stand up in the 40s or 50s here, just in the level of like truly borderline women are shopping a lot.
Yeah.
And the crowd's going nuts.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I got to learn Chinese right now.
Yeah, that's what I was told. Like Japanese comedy is like as well. It's like more slapsticky, like physical. It's less just like what we do. But apparently Osaka, which we went as well, is like more the comedy capital of Japan. And there's a club there called ROR for Laugh Out Loud. But
No.
yes,
LOL.
No.
yes,
So it's spelled how?
ROR.
And they're saying
I think it's them.
So it's okay.
Yeah.
Do you see what the joke is?
Now I do. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I won't even say that club's
No.
name. I'll say the ROR.
Yeah.
I wonder
Yeah.
if it's like nice.
I
don't know.
Get it
I
at
didn't- we
first.
didn't
I
get
thought
it.
it was like a translation. Wow. Okay.
You thought,
I thought. I don't know what I thought. I didn't get that it was like they were making the joke.
sure.
Yeah. Now I get it.
That's a racist joke. So much to tell them.
Yeah, I guess they know. I think they have a sense of humor about that. Maybe I don't know. Honestly, maybe it's run by white people. I don't know.
God.
I didn't get to go there, but no. Apparently, that's the place for like Japanese comics. So next time I go, I will try to check it out. But
Did you kill? Was it a good set?
Kill is strong. They were like so polite. The crowd was like so polite. It's
Yeah.
that type of crowd where they're like laughing too loud might be like, obscene. That's totally why it didn't kill. But no, it was really fun. They had a good time. It was me and Matt Koff doing sets, and we both had
Matt
a really
Koff.
good time. Yeah,
That's great.
yeah, that was our trip. But yeah, the sushi was just everywhere, unbelievable. The best meal we've ever had every day. We're like, this is the best meal. No, this is the best meal. And it's all like $20. Like it's unbelievable.
Oh, I want to go. Have you been?
Once.
Once.
Yeah. I was there for like 2 weeks or so. I'm Japanese.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
But like I'm fourth generation, so my connection to the culture is like very limited. But so it was funny being in Japan as a Japanese person who doesn't speak Japanese is just like you're so frowned upon.
Like a poser. Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't even trying to blend in, but I stuck out like a sore thumb because like I didn't dress like how they dress. It's like a lot of flowy, at least in summer, it's like a lot of flowy linens or like cotton dresses and just stuff that we were pretty covered. I'm out there as a dumb American from California wearing denim shorts.
Saying lol, lol, lol. And they're like, what are you saying?
But like the denim shorts was just like everybody's staring at you at that point because it's
Really?
like you're basically just naked. Like,
Interesting. I guess
Like,
'cause I went in the
people
winter. I didn't get to see that.
yeah, people don't like wear shorts. It's like that's a very American thing to do. So then I think people saw that, or like people saw what I was wearing and they're like, oh, you're not from here, which makes sense. Like, and obviously I don't speak the language, so that was the other thing too. But one thing that does suck about Japan is that they don't have trash cans anywhere.
Oh yeah, that's a bad thing.
You have to carry your trash with you, like in a plastic bag, and then you take it with you until you get home or to your hotel or whatever, and then you can throw it away.
You have just like a big like see-through bag or
Whatever,
Like-
like if you go to 7-Eleven, they give you a plastic bag.
where do you put it down? If you go to a restaurant, you just have to put it under the table. You got trash?
Yeah. You gotta like carry it with you all day.
Why is that? Just
For cleanliness.
They're really clean. It's really
Yeah.
clean there.
Yeah.
Which is also the thing that doesn't make sense. It's like you would think it would be dirty.
Well, actually, that's like a thing. Like, if you notice sometimes, well, in Jersey, the PATH train has no trash cans, but the platform is clean all the time. It's actually a thing. When you don't have trash cans, it becomes cleaner, which is
Really?
isn't that weird? Yeah.
It is weird.
That's interesting. I definitely see a lot of people, they miss the trash can and then they don't fix it.
yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Because I get very frustrated when there's no trash cans anywhere.
It was annoying. My pockets were full of trash constantly. Just a coffee cup hanging out.
Do they have the vending machines there with the quote unquote used panties in the bag thing?
Oh, I didn't see any of that. I'm
What?
sure it's there.
That's like, listen, I watch a lot of anime. I'm cultured. there is a thing where like, oh, you go to a vending machine and you get. There's more like things that I think in American sensibility would be like, that's pretty perverted. But it's like, no, it's just a vending machine with used panties.
Are they real?
I don't know.
Or is it like a,
I imagine there's some store and they go, and it's like they weren't worn.
Yeah,
they weren't
yeah.
worked out in. They were just tapped, maybe for authenticity. And someone goes by. I don't know.
I'm sure it's there. There's a neighborhood for like everything. Like if you have a weird thing,
A
there's
whole
something
neighborhood
there.
for it.
Like Akihabara is the weird neighborhood with all like the real nerds for anime stuff. Like every shop
Which
is like,
neighborhood?
weird. Akihabara.
Oh, that's where I'm going first thing.
And then on the corner they have the maid cafes, so there's girls dressed as maids on the corner, like trying to get you in, but I didn't go.
And like for sex work or just
I asked the crowd actually if it's like a sexual thing, and like on paper it's not, but like they're definitely getting off on
overtones.
something. Yeah.
there's overtones of them in a maid outfit saying come inside.
Yeah.
It's a little, would you go to Japan?
Yeah.
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 We'll do a downside there.
Okay.
If you are a downside listener and you live in
Japan.
Japan, please write us.
Yeah.
I don't know.
How many people would it take to write to say, yes, we'll do it?
Was it like a show where where any of people there like, I love your work?
Oh, actually, specifically because of my roast stuff. Like there's a big roast battle scene there.
Really?
Oh.
So, literally, the guy there was like, "You're like a legend here." I was like, "Oh, can I move here?" Like, I hate roasting, but if that's
Yeah.
what it takes,
You hate roasting?
well, it's just kind of like a drag having to write.
Of
write
course.
the jokes, you know what I mean?
You're so good at it.
Oh, thanks.
That one famous
The
battle.
one.
You know how to go viral. That's for sure.
No, I
for better or
don't.
for worse.
You do.
Not these big pops have never been threatened for a joke.
That's true.
You had that joke. I know it's awful to say, but can you do the one about the motorcycle
Oh
accident?
yeah.
So she was battling a guy, I would say in his 30s,
Yeah.
comic, road comic.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you say?
Dave's mom died in a bad motorcycle accident. She died the way Dave lives, an unrecognizable road feature.
Wow.
Man,
That's really
People
good.
really
Incredible.
like that.
incredible. I think it would be fun that you go to Japan and you're so good at roast battles and they're so new to it that even in a second language you can craft
Yeah.
roast joke. I mean, that would be really hard. A good roast joke is so dependent on a mastery of language.
Yeah, but I feel like I could just get it translated. Sometimes I think like, what if I just translated my whole set into Japanese? I think it would be okay.
I feel like I've talked to comics who like speak Spanish, and I'm always like, you gotta milk this, and they go, it must be harder than that, because I feel like I know so many comics who do speak another language, but they're like not well enough
Right.
to do that. I think it's just the structure of where words go, and what a
Right.
twist is.
I guess it would be. I just imagine just memorizing like here's where the intonation belongs here, even though I don't know what I'm saying. If I could just memorize the words and the intonation.
Like in Japanese, it would be like an unrecognized road feature your mom became after the motorcycle accident,
Yeah.
which lives like you. Like
You're
and
right.
if-
I guess the surprise would be different. 'Cause
Yeah.
oh, interesting.
I think a lot of it.
I'm still gonna try. I'm trying to get out of here.
But God, you some of those roasts. I wasn't doing stand up at the time when they were in their real heyday. I was doing it
Yeah.
when I was putting in the work and no one was seeing it. It slowly unraveled. But I love roasts.
You like it?
No, not doing them.
Oh, just okay.
But like if I'm watching, like it still gives me the feeling that all stand up did when I was 15, where I'm like, whoa, God damn, that exciting.
it is exciting to watch for sure. Like I'd rather watch a roast battle than a regular stand-up show. I would say that.
There's been a couple roast jokes I wrote for other people that I was able to use in my act in a different way. Years later, I remember like, ooh, like 4.
Okay,
they were
that's the
good.
tough thing. It's hard. You can't reuse those jokes. It's like all this work, and then you can't use those
But
jokes.
if you remember them if someone's heckling you, if you remember them in a moment and can use it, you look like the biggest fucking genius.
Right. Oh,
There's
I
a couple
love
clips that I have where I just use an old bit that I kind of retired, and the audience is like, "Holy shit!"
Oh, that's so fun to
3
delude
beats
people
in a row. Yeah,
Wait, you're quick. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't understand.
I don't.
You just say other people's words. Can you make your announcement at the end of this yet?
No.
Oh, Jesus Christ. right, let's go to our next segment. This has got to stop.
This has got to stop.
This has got to stop. Your headphones? You okay?
Yeah. Sorry, I was loud.
You got to. This got to stop.
Yeah, this got to stop. Strollers on the subway, they're getting bigger. The last week, I can't get around these strollers. And it's twice now that they've had a double baby stroller, one baby in the stroller. And so it's taking up all the space. I feel like the thing itself is getting bigger, these strollers for parents. They have so many compartments and things they're storing under there, and it just takes up so much space on the subway. And I know it's not convenient for parents to not be able to take it on the subway. So, but it's a better, I feel like
What part's getting bigger, though? Like, because the baby's the same size.
But I think it's the combination of the thing itself, the apparatus is getting bigger. And I also think that sometimes parents are so focused on their kid, they're not being very thoughtful of everyone trying to get on or off. And it's hard. I'm a bigger guy, so I'm like, what are we going to do here? Someone's got to move. Someone's got to help. You know what I mean? And I can't push people when this thing is blocking. So I just feel like the last week I've been running into strollers so much. Not running into it physically, but like just it's been annoying me. Like
Sure.
on more than 2 occasions. And that's a lot.
There could be like the overhead bag can only be this big. The stroller can only be this large.
I just feel like they're huge now.
I'll be on the lookout for it.
I had
hadn't
this
noticed.
person had a big bag underneath the thing, and it was a 2-seater, and also the kid wasn't even in it. They're sitting on their lap. So I'm like, this just giant thing.
That's.
I know
annoying.
you're gonna
That's
use
annoying.
it. You're going somewhere, and then you're gonna put them in so you can strap them in. They're not have to worry about them.
You know what you should
But
do?
It's just a giant.
You know what you should do if it's big enough?
Sit in it. Yeah. Hey, you don't
I'll
mind?
teach them.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
we got to make these smaller.
Yeah.
This has got to stop. I feel like I saw something. It was on Twitter where it was like a picture of the Titanic sinking and everyone in the water was filming it on their phones.
Yes.
And I also saw another video. It was like a New Year's countdown in a different country, and everyone was filming the ball drop with their phones. And there's this reaction of like, society's so broken today. Everyone's filming on their phone. No one wants to see this. And I will tell you, I went to a concert recently, and I don't go to a lot of concerts, but it was the one I saw.
Postal service?
A postal service.
Uh-huh.
And I found myself at different moments like filming and like making a little movie that I will never see again. Maybe I put 3 seconds on my phone, but you know what? It was part of the experience that I had. I was a little director. I didn't feel like I was not. I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't connected. I was just engaging in the thing that I happen to use a lot to engage in the world.
Yeah.
And I had fun. He's far away.
Yeah.
So I'm sometimes looking at the screen, sometimes looking there, sometimes I'm filming.
Yeah.
And I think there's just this general sense of like, get out your phone and learn how to enjoy it. You're not enjoying it. You're not feeling it. And I think you can still enjoy something and film it. And at some point, people will get tired of it and they'll stop filming it. And we don't need to look at it as a particular harbinger of doom and disconnectedness.
Yeah.
Also, the video where it was like everybody filming the fireworks or like at New Year's, that was totally AI.
Oh, is AI?
Yeah. All of the lighting looked the same. It was just like repeated like 100 times over. So that was fake.
We're
I get your point.
getting real close to just being able to say that about literally anything. I posted a picture of Meryl Streep and Martin Short, and someone said, you can tell it's AI. Meryl Streep's hand looks fucked up. And someone said, she's just old. And
My God.
I'm like, we're already entering a phase of like just everything. I did share something where someone said a picture was AI, and it was not. And that's on me.
Yeah.
That's on me.
Wow.
So, Paige, do you have this guy stop?
I do.
Tell us.
Whenever this is gonna stop. Whenever I go on vacation with my boyfriend, people are like, "Oh, like, do you think he's gonna ask you? Like, do you think he's gonna propose?" I was like, "No," and then or people will be like, "What's a special occasion? Like, just because I want to go travel?"
Yeah.
There doesn't.
Yeah.
This has got to stop. There doesn't have to be a special occasion to go
travel.
travel with your significant other.
Yeah.
You hear that, Tova? We're just going on a vacation like everyone else.
Yeah.
That is annoying.
Yeah. And it's also just like, a stereotype, I guess, too. Or I think that's why I'm bothered by it, because it is like, oh, I guess this is like the natural expectation or progression of life. Like, you have to do these certain things or do these certain milestones to feel like you've lived a full life. But like, what if, not saying that, I don't want to get married, but like, what if I didn't want to get married?
Of course, the pressure and the assumption that marriage is the goal is so deep and so constant. Yeah. And you brought it up last night, didn't you, Russell?
I didn't bring it up first. Our friend brought it up first.
Our friend brought it, and the thing is, who does it? The fucking married people. And I there's just a feeling where there's a degree of like, hey, when are you gonna do the thing I did?
I'm never the first to bring it up. I didn't ask you when. I asked you a different question. But I didn't say when.
But Douglas Keith just got back from his honeymoon, so he's like, well, now that I did it, aren't you doing it soon?
Yeah.
That's not how anything works.
I try not to, because I try not to put any sort of pressure on people about that, because it's weird, it is a bizarre thing. People just assume that everyone wants to do that.
Yeah.
But especially from strangers too. Like one time I went on a snorkeling boat in Hawaii with Max, and there was like a father and son who were also on the boat, and we were talking, just making small talk, and like, oh, like, so what are you guys here for? Like, did you guys, like, are you on your honeymoon? And I'm like, no, like, I can just I can just exist and have a nice time with my boyfriend without there having to be a particular reason for it. And if it's in a romantic place, then so be it. But like, that doesn't have to be the default thought that comes out of it.
I think part of the problem is people are just bad at conversation, so they go into these very basic things. Because you couldn't just be like, so you guys just hanging out,
Yeah.
They just
there's like they put 3 categories of things you can talk about, and it's one of them.
It's the same with crowdwork too, where it's like, you're just like, well, what do you do for work? Because it's like, what else do you say to a new person?
Yeah.
What would you rather they say to you? Just like, hey, you guys,
Israel, Palestine, pick one.
That's a better conversation, though.
It is. That is more interesting, certainly. Then to get out of it, you're like, will you marry me? Do you have this gotta stop?
I guess mine was more abstract.
That's
sorry.
fine.
Oh, that's great.
It can't be abstract.
It's got to stop that children need 18 years of care. Because, right, just as humans, like, it's not right. Other animals, they're born and they're good to go, Like, I would have one. I would have one if it didn't require 18 years. Well, like, how about 5? 5 years seems okay. But, like, we have, like, human growth hormone. Like, why can't we just start giving children hormones that will make them just develop faster, and that way more people will have them, right?
Sure. I
18 years is a long time.
In my mind, though, I was just imagining if 5 was it, think about just walking around the streets of New York and how many just homeless 5-year-olds you'd see just rolling around.
That's why we need medical science to make it so that they could be fine. Like, I don't want to endanger children. I want them to get pills to make them adult faster.
Yeah. Also, it feels like it's getting older. Like, because now kids live longer with their parents. And I'm sure back in the day when our lives were shorter, they probably were free at like 11 or 12 go out on the world.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, so now it's getting, because we're living longer, it's delaying them from leaving.
Well, we'd have to change child labor laws if we're going to separate them from their parents.
We're already doing that. Child labor is a big problem again. Yeah. That's a good sign.
That's a great sign. This is a very weird memory. I remember I went to a summer camp once, and I must have been like 10, 11, and there was a counselor, and he was like, people are going through puberty earlier than they used to. One day, babies are going to be born. They're already going to have pubes.
Sir.
And I just remember at some point, like sharing this information with my stepfather, and him being like, what the fuck are you talking about? I just remember an age where I would just anything a slightly older person said, I'd take as God's will.
I
remember my stepdad going, What the fuck are you saying? And in my head I was like, you square? You don't even know. Our final segment.
You better count your blessing.
You better count your blessing. Something thankful. We've said a lot of negative things. You got a blessing, Russell?
Yeah, mine's really simple today. My blessing today is that the last 2 weeks I was here, That escalator was out today. It was working. And it's nothing worse than making that trek all the way across the city from Inwood down here and then having to climb those stairs. So thankful the escalator's working again. That's my blessing today.
Amazing. Paige, do you got a blessing?
Mine's kind of dumb, but I do like I do like the idea of like as a female presenting person, that you can kind of like change up your style and it can really be drastic. Not saying that like, men can't do this too, but I feel like there's a lot more room to work with as a female presenting person.
What have you
like I'm thinking about my hair specifically. Like that can really just change up a whole look. It can be like, one day I could be wearing something more masculine and like kind of go with a whole different vibe, but the next day I can wear a dress and like, dress up and be this whole other person. So
yeah, I wish I don't think I'd ever wear like a Harry Styles like dress skirt. I'd feel strange, but I wish I could.
Yeah,
You could.
I feel like
You could.
It's tough as a comedian. Like, imagine I walk into the cellar and I'm just wearing I'm gonna get.
But the thing is, and I feel like I don't take advantage of this enough, is that we are stage performers. Like, we
agree.
have license to just do whatever up there. I never take advantage of that. I dress like shit. I'm like, I could be having fun with what I'm wearing up here.
Sure.
I think if you
You
did it
could
in your
too.
real life a few times first.
Look, this is me doing it.
Okay.
This is me doing it. It's I've said it before. I would like 1, 2, or 3 nails painted. I like.
Oh.
You see what the fuck? What the fuck?
Russell's face.
I like. See, that's the thing that I want. I think about it a lot.
It's not that. It's not the act of doing that. I think it's the sometimes other people that you meet that have done it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it's sometimes performative.
Yeah.
Where it's like,
Yeah, but I'm a performer.
but I mean, like it comes from a place of like, oh well, Harry Styles did it, so like I'll get the girls too if I do this thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing to get the
No,
girls.
no.
I said let me get some.
But I think that's what
blue
Russell's
nails.
talking about, where
Sure.
it's like other people who have done this particular thing, where it could give a bad impression of other people who try to follow suit.
I've always noticed it. Like if it feels like they're like really like they want you to notice it, which is fine.
But just like
Yeah.
in every conversation.
What do you have okay?
Yeah, and I'm trying to think of a blessing, and I wanted to do one specifically. Dina, do you have a blessing while I?
I didn't know about this one. Just something I'm thankful for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess, I don't know. I still have Japan on the brain. I guess I'm just thankful that we have the technology. I could just be like, I want to go to Japan, and I could just be there in 12 hours. It's crazy.
Was there like a? Did you get to talk to a lot of locals?
We did. We had some interesting conversations. Oh, well, what's funny is Matt, obviously, he's the biggest person in Japan. So,
Wait.
Matt Koff, he's tall. He's really
Oh,
tall.
the biggest. I thought you meant like he's.
Oh,
famous
not like,
in
no.
Japan.
famous
No,
in
I just
Japan.
I had no idea.
physically.
Biggest comedian.
So they're just fun interactions. One time we were walking in, like, I guess the Times Square area, and these two, I guess, salarymen perhaps came up to us. He came up to Matt and just goes, "Where are you from?" Like he was gonna say Narnia or something. And it was just like America. And then I guess he was drunk because his friend was like shooing him away. One time we went to a tapas restaurant. It was the only restaurant we went to that didn't have an English menu. Most places did. So these very nice men helped us like translate the menu so we could order from the waiter who didn't speak English. He was like the nicest guy, just so very polite. But then out of nowhere, he's like, "Yeah, I used to live in America. It's too woke." Like we just didn't explain. We didn't expect this very polite man to have these very right-wing opinions. He was like, "The men can use the women's bathroom." We're like, "Whoa, okay."
Imagine being so upset about that. I'm going to go to Japan.
I'm gonna go to Japan.
I'm going to go to Japan. I will give a shout out to. This is a blessing. There's not just a shout out. Patty Shore Caden was a sign language interpreter. My Zany Chicago show. This clip did very well.
Viral.
Yeah. Though some people were annoyed about it. I responded. My thoughts of what I thought the video did. But Patty Shore Caden, fantastic. just played along. It was one of these. I walked there, and suddenly there were 2 interpreters for the whole headlining set on stage, and I didn't know anything in advance. And they just, we had a couple moments together, and it felt nice, and they were very into it.
I watched it. It was nice.
Thank you. And then some people said you're never supposed to interact with an interpreter ever.
Oh, wow.
Why?
And I said because there's not to butcher the argument. The argument that they're saying the whole point of this is so that a deaf person can have the full experience, the normal experience that another audience member would be having. And if this person is not your prop, they're not your comedic thing. To which I said, I literally talked to the audience. Why would I not talk to the person? It would be inauthentic and not a real performance if I didn't interact with sharing a small stage.
Yeah.
That normally is just me. This is a scene partner now.
Yeah.
And obviously, in this particular case, the interpreters were like down to clown.
Yeah.
I would never like constantly. And also, when I said the word Nazi, the sign language for Nazi is.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah,
I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah.
And she kept doing it. And I had this funny thought because in Italy, there was recently people upset there was some fascist gathering and all these people doing the Heil Hitler salute. And I said, what if they actually were all interpreters?
They're all just learning.
Someone said the word Nazi and they went, oh boy, this is going to make the news. And that's my thought. So thank you, Patty. Thank you, Zanies. And anything you want to plug? This is coming out
January 30th.
Wow, look at you. Thank you.
I think.
Anything you want to plug?
Just to watch my special, Dark Little Whispers, on Amazon Prime.
And it was Dark Little Whispers presented by Sam Morril. Is that the way that you
Produced by yes.
Sam Morril?
Yeah.
Was that the full title of it?
They have a thing where they can't put that on the title for some reason. So
I like though that you put his name. I don't like it when it goes Sebastian Maniscalco presents.
Oh, I wanted that.
You
I
wanted that?
his name as big as possible just to try to help, but it wasn't allowed.
I watched it. Paige watched it. Russell does no research for guests, but you would love it very much. Paige, anything you want to plug?
Just go see The Downside live in LA March 14th. And,
Yes.
at the Hollywood Improv.
Pete Holmes will not be the guest. We know that for sure, but we're working on finding a guest.
Oh my God.
I just know Pete Holmes that he's not available.
This is not
that's all we've
available.
established so
Okay,
far.
on to the next. Okay, Gutenberg is closed. You missed it if you didn't see it. It's closed on Broadway. And then I'll have another announcement soon. But follow me on Instagram at Russell J Daniels.
There's a big announcement coming soon.
Not that big. It's fine.
Could you work?
Okay.
All right, you said the 30th is coming out?
Yes.
Okay, my announcements. I'm in Seattle this weekend. It's sold out. Too late. San Jose, February 4th. Could be sold out. We'll see. And then I will be in Sacramento, February 8th, 9th, and 10th at the Sacramento Punchline. Definitely not sold out. So get your tickets to that. Go to The Downside Live. If you're ever visiting New York or in New York, I have a show. It's called The Silver Lining. That's my new material show where I have guests. Dina did it recently.
Very fun.
And I got a clip coming soon. Dina said I could use her part in the beginning. Thank you, Dina.
Oh.
The dating thing.
That's right.
Yeah. And you know, hopefully if you didn't get along with your parents, you get along with them now.
Yeah.
But even if you don't now, hopefully
they didn't hire a private investigator to follow you around.
this is The Downside.
1, 2, 3. Downside. Downside. You're listening to The Downside
The Downside.
with Gianmarco Soresi.
Tell him, Russell.
Subscribe to The Downside right now.
Where?
Down here. Or here. We don't know, but just do it.
Or also, what else could they do?
They could follow the Patreon. They could subscribe to the Patreon.
No!
Sorry.
Patreon.com/downside.
Too much pressure.